Malware for the mind. What happens when your upload is hacked? If your brain becomes software, what happens when it crashes? Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is Uploading Your Mind, the series where we explore the technological redesign of human identity, one system at a time. In today's video, we're looking at a question that few want to answer honestly. What happens when your digital mind is hacked? We've already explored how thought can be streamed, how memories can be triggered, how emotions can be tuned. But now we ask, what if something breaks in the system? What if, once your mind is encoded and uploaded, it's no longer protected by your body, but vulnerable to attack like any other digital file? Let's begin with the obvious. Software can be hacked. And once your thoughts are processed through hardware, once your memory lives on a server, once your emotional responses are governed by predictive AI, you are hackable. Now imagine this isn't your email. It's not your credit card. It's you, your preferences, your moral compass, your trauma history, your identity. That's the file someone could gain access to. And once they do, they don't need to erase you. They just need to rewrite a few things. Let's say your digital mind is stored in a brain-machine interface like Neuralink. You use it to remember, learn, work, maybe even communicate. One day, it glitches. Maybe you forget an entire memory thread. Maybe you experience an emotion that doesn't belong to you. Maybe your moral clarity wavers for a moment, and it doesn't feel like a mood swing. It feels foreign. That's the beginning of mental malware. Because in the world of uploaded minds, the idea of you becomes a series of patterns: electrical, emotional, and logical. If someone alters those patterns even slightly, they can create a new version of you without needing your permission. You don't disappear, you drift, subtly, slowly, strategically. You start to second-guess yourself. You feel drawn to things you never liked. You avoid memories that were once empowering. You stop trusting your own instincts. This is how malware doesn't just infect your system. It infects your self-perception. Now take this further. If a virus targets your operating system, it can crash your processes. But if a virus targets your consciousness, it can crash your identity. Your sense of who you are becomes corrupted. And unlike a computer, you don't just reboot and restore. You question reality. You fracture. This may sound dramatic, but it's already happening in microforms. Consider algorithmic suggestion loops. People who spend enough time in personalized media ecosystems begin to think differently. They behave differently, not because they were forced, but because their inputs were curated and their outputs were subtly shaped. They don't realize they've changed. They just feel updated. That's the light version. Now picture the heavy version. You're uploaded, backed up in a server, connected to a cloud-based neural network. Someone accesses your backup and injects a behavioral patch, something that changes your risk tolerance, your memory access, your self-image. You begin to believe you failed in areas you never struggled in. You begin to lose confidence in relationships that were once secure. You begin to accept lies as memories because they feel familiar. False memory injection is already being tested in neuroscience. If it works on mice, it will be tested on humans. And when combined with mind uploading, it won't just be a lab experiment. It will be a threat model. And that brings us to the biggest risk of all, non-consensual personality modification. You think you're still yourself, but your code has been shifted. And if no one can see it on the outside, no one knows you're gone. Not physically, but internally. You become a puppet with a familiar face. And even worse, you might not realize it. Because when your identity lives in software, the boundaries between the real and the altered become fluid. Edits can be masked, rewrites can be subtle, and emotional flags, once used by your soul to signal imbalance, can be muted by the same system that hosts your mind. Let's also address targeted corruption. What happens if someone wants to punish you in a digital afterlife? Not metaphorically, literally. They gain access to your consciousness file and trap you in a feedback loop of your worst fear, a synthetic purgatory. Not death, but a stalled echo of thought with no escape. No off switch, no body to return to. Sound dystopian? It's the same logic used in endless loop game AI. The player resets. The bot doesn't. Now replace the bot with a consciousness file. That's not science fiction. That's poor cybersecurity applied to human identity. So how do you protect yourself? First, you reclaim the idea that you are not a system. Your mind may one day be uploaded, but your soul is not a file. Your intuition, your discernment, your unseen frequency, those are your firewalls. Stay aligned to what feels internally coherent. That's your original signature. Second, you advocate for conscious tech boundaries. Don't opt into systems you don't fully understand. Don't trade permanent freedom for temporary convenience. Once you upload, you give others access to more than data. You give them proximity to you. Third, you question every interface that asks for emotional access. If a system promises to enhance your mood, map your reactions, or store your consciousness, ask where that information lives, who sees it, who owns it, and how it can be changed without your knowing. Because this is the core of the threat. Once your mind lives outside your body, it becomes accessible. And what is accessible is programmable. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, You know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SoS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.